A charge of burglary is brought against a Minnesota man accused of taking valuable collector gaming cards.
23-year-old Tyler Gehrman is charged with 1 count of burglary tied to a 2015 break-in of a comic store on Fairfax Street in Eau Claire. A criminal complaint filed today accuses Gehrman of taking specific high-dollar Magic the Gathering cards valued between $10,000 and $15,000. The complaint links Gehrman to a 2016 break-in at Truckers Union on Water Street in Eau Claire. Initial appearance is scheduled for January 9th.
While that value amount tied to these trading cards may sound high, it's not unheard of. WEAU's Jesse Horn takes a look at what makes this activity appealing. Jesse.
Yeah, Danielle, that's right. Some of these games date back to the early 1990s, and they've grown in numbers. But to call these just games is, well, in a way, selling them short of their true worth.
Do you want to go or me?
Zach Chafee locks in for another battle at Eau Claire Games and Arcade.
And then does 1 damage to this, I'm going to regenerate it. You've only lost 2. And then I'm going to use his +2 to draw 2.
This is the language of Magic, one of the first ever collectible trading card games.
Well, for me, there's a lot of strategy in it. And so I have to think about what I'm doing. There's a strong bond with everybody that plays these type of games that you can't really find much where else.
And even if it's a Psychic Ace, a Dark Angel, or even a Griggle, the cards in these games can have more value than even when they're just played during a friendly match.
I think a lot of people are surprised by the actual value of some of these cards because they're like, well, it's just a piece of cardboard. Like, how expensive can it be?
The monetary value of most cards can range from a few to several $100s, and even more. Prices can even be monitored online, almost in real time, to see if it's up or down. If that sounds familiar.
It's almost like an investment. I call it a stock market, but it's an investment. It allows the player to play games and switch decks and actually hold value of what they have.
Lowkrantz was the owner of an Eau Claire store which sold specific high-dollar Magic the Gathering cards, until a 2015 burglary changed that.
I was knocked down but not knocked out. It did take out my business. I did lose it at the end of the year. Wasn't able to really come back from it. But a few years later, I have not forgotten the game nor the community, which is an excellent community.
So I'm at 9 life.
For those that play any of these games,
it can get pretty crazy.
The overall joy can be worth more than the value of the card.
Not as competitive as I used to be, but I don't like losing either.
And on this night, Chafee came out on top.
Now, guys, both the gentlemen you heard in that story said that the most expensive card that they know of in Magic ever printed is called the Black Lotus. With only 1,100 ever printed, that card, if you can find it, can retail for as high as $100,000.